On a topographical map of the Middle East, Israel appears as a tiny sliver of land, roughly the size of New Jersey. Yet this small geographic footprint carries a military and geopolitical weight that dictates the security posture of global superpowers. The state's security mindset is rooted in the events of the mid-20th century. After the systematic murder of 6 million Jews during the Holocaust, the survivors established a singular, unyielding vow for their new nation: never again. At its founding in 1948, Israel faced immediate attacks from multiple surrounding neighbors. For a nation with such narrow borders, losing ground meant total demographic extinction. To counter these threats, Israel developed a world-class conventional military. They organized the Israel Defense Forces and deployed high-tech shields like the Iron Dome to intercept incoming fire. But conventional defense has a mathematical limit for a small country. Surrounded by larger adversaries, Israel must win every single battle it fights to survive. Its enemies only need to win once. Under a zero margin for error threat, standard military strategy cannot guarantee survival over decades. This reality necessitated the development of an absolute, infallible failsafe. In the late 1950s, deep in the Negev desert, Israel began constructing the Dimona nuclear reactor. The project was kept strictly secret, with intelligence agencies working to ensure no details leak to the outside world. This logic creates nuclear ambiguity. The state officially refuses to confirm or deny possessing a nuclear arsenal. This prevents a regional arms race, denying neighbors justification to fund their own programs, while creating an unquantifiably high psychological deterrent. But ambiguity only functions as a deterrent. If foreign armies breach the borders and the state faces total collapse, the policy must shift from a psychological threat to a physical reality. The mechanism for this scenario is a doctrine that operates outside the standard rules of global warfare. This map shows the baseline for nuclear deterrence used by the US and China, called second strike. If country A attacks, country B uses its surviving hidden missiles to fire back, ensuring mutual destruction. Israel's doctrine is different. The Samson option is a last resort, triggered only by imminent destruction. The strategy suggests that if the state falls, it will launch an all-out strike against its invaders, and potentially other global targets. It is a commitment to a global cataclysm. If the nation dies, it pulls the rest of the world down with it. The strategy is named after the biblical judge, Samson. Captured and blinded, he was chained between two massive stone pillars in his enemy's temple. Samson used his final burst of strength to pull the pillars down, crushing himself and his enemies as the entire structure collapsed. The Samson option is a suicide pact. It is not designed to win a war, but to ensure that the destruction of Israel results in a regional or global disaster. The strategy transforms Israel's survival into a primary concern for the rest of the world. This reality creates a direct incentive for the United States to provide advanced weapons and diplomatic support. By ensuring Israel maintains conventional superiority, Washington prevents the desperation that would trigger the failsafe. Because the cost of an Israeli military defeat is a global crisis, the international community is effectively required to ensure the state remains unlosable by external force. But a nuclear failsafe offers no protection against threats that bypass the military entirely. Deep internal fractures, political division, social unrest, or economic collapse can hollow out a nation from within. These crises can dismantle a state without ever crossing the threshold for a military response. The apocalypse machine built to deter the outside world cannot shield a state from its own social collapse. After decades of securing its borders against every external threat, the nation's survival may ultimately depend on its own internal cohesion.